Cool, man. Well, so what was your number two, sir?
Okay, my number two. I'm going to Spider-Man. I'm going
Hell
no
yeah.
more. No home. No way home.
No,
Spider-Man. No way home.
No Way Homes.
By the Jon Watts.
Yeah, Mr.
The guy who made Clown, or what was it? I mean, how did Jon Watts get this?
He did the only movie I've ever heard of him doing before this was Cop Car, which I haven't seen and I heard was good. But as far as I know, that's the only other movie he did. I could be incorrect, but
he must have had the most incredible pitch.
Clearly, and I gotta hand it to the guy. I know Marvel's MO is to kind of like take an unknown director and then like stick him in a Marvel movie and see if they do a good job, which seems like it worked out with Jon Watts. But like, yeah, he must have be real good in a room, and he must be really good at constantly evolving script, because I heard this movie, they were like rewriting the script every day. And it makes sense, and I'm amazed how well it works with that, you know?
I agree. And I think for the sake of the podcast, this is the only one, I think for the most part, we are just going to talk about whatever we want. If you have not seen Spider-Man, by the time I get this edited and out to you, I don't know what to say. You have had your chance. It's been out for weeks. It is literally on Instagram.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because the only Instagram features I like, I don't follow people I know. Mm-hmm. I don't follow people I like or care about for the most part. I only follow like broad topic account things, right? So like I'll go into the explore feature and it'll be just all people I don't even follow, I don't even see, whatever. And it's just like, it's things it's suggesting to me, mm-hmm. right? And I'm literally scrolling through last night and it's just the climax of Spider-Man, the three of them swinging around together. It's just clips of the movie. And I'm like, it's on Instagram. So I don't really care anymore. If you were waiting for it to come out on home video or something and hoping the world's biggest billion-dollar movie is not going to be spoiled for you, I don't know what to
I was going to say, if they have not seen it by the time this comes up, you probably are the only person on the planet at this rate that will not have seen this movie, because it's breaking all the box office records.
Yeah, the Venn diagram of I care about Spider-Man and I have not seen Spider-Man is non-existent.
True.
So believe me, it took me forever because Southern California is very...
or like Star Wars, I imagine, has always got to be a pain in the ass to...
Yeah, I think Star Wars is easier. I've not had the same Star Wars problems as I have. I think infamously Black Panther was insane trying to get to go to see. Yeah. It took forever. I think that's the biggest one. I think I had to go like a savage, like it's 1997, go to like a university theater to go watch. What was the first Avengers?
It's just
not Endgame, but
just
it was like
the Avengers. The Joss Whedon one?
Like what was the first part of the Thanos
Infinity War?
Infinity War. I had to go and just sit in like free for all seating, like you know what I mean, like when we used to go to Lee Highway or something. You know what I mean? Back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Catch a Rocky Horror afterwards or something.
Absolutely. So that's how it had to be done. Mm-hmm. Had to be done. So really, I mean, to me, I really enjoyed how weirdly crazy this is. I don't know if you've ever heard us talk about any of the MCU movies. I think we appreciate them at the appropriate level that they deserve. Yeah. We're not insane.
It's not like it's not like it's our religion like it is with some people, and it's not like we turn our nose up at them.
No. Yeah, we enjoy these. Yeah, we enjoy comics.
Yeah.
We enjoy all sci-fi, fun. We don't worship at the altar of the MCU. Everything's incredible. Anything they make, we love it. Blah blah blah. No, I will be completely honest if we don't enjoy something. And there's been plenty that we haven't enjoyed, and we've talked about it. But I like Doctor Strange. I think he's one of the most kind of dynamic, fun characters in the MCU. Mm-hmm. I think he's just not a complete freaking idiot. I don't know. I just enjoyed his whole story. I think Scott Derrickson. Is he the original director?
Oh,
what was
no, that's Doctor Strange, I think.
Yeah, what was?
Scott Derrickson was the original director of Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But I love what he did with the kind of the origin story of the first one, and we've been waiting kind of for more. And I don't know. I really enjoyed Cumberbatch's whole portrayal.
Yeah, he's been interesting. It's interesting because I never thought they really seem like they're positioning Doctor Strange to be like the new Iron Man. And I never would have expected that. Like seems like he's going to be the glue, especially with the Multiverse of Madness coming up, to kind of connect a lot of these other Marvel Universe movies, which you kind of need, honestly. So
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. What are you gonna have Wong out there?
Oh shit, Wong's popping up in a lot of stuff now too. Yeah, you catch Iron Fist?
Was he on? Was he in the Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, sorry, that's what I meant.
I enjoyed Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that was great.
It narrowly missed my list because
ditto.
I base a lot of my viewing pleasure on expectations. You know what I mean? I had no expectations for Shang-Chi, and I thought it far exceeded zero.
Oh yeah, it was a solid, and it was also, it almost worked like separate as a Marvel movie. It was like basically like a wuxia movie or one of those.
Well, yeah, no, I was like, I don't need this to even exist in the Marvel universe, and it would still be a fun movie to me.
Totally.
You know, it just happens to be weirdly somehow connected, and we're watching it. But I would just watch this if it were just totally unaffiliated. And it was just an original IP that had nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
This could be a complete nightmare cluster F.
Yeah.
Just cramming way too many people and way too much into a way too long movie. And it didn't feel that way. I think it's like the third longest Marvel movie. It didn't feel
I'm astounded at how much they were able to pull off in one film. And it pretty seamlessly. Like, it doesn't feel too overly long. Like, it feels a little long just because, you know, a lot of shit happens, but it's not like I'm checking my watch. I maybe checked my watch once the whole movie, but I was still totally into it, you know? There's something new happening every, like, 5 minutes, so it's hard not to be engaged, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's constantly moving forward. There's a lot going on. I thought the beats that it was trying to hit with emotional stuff all kind of worked. You know what I mean? I love the last 30 minutes, the final climactic thing. I enjoy the Tom Holland high school universe of craziness. You know what I mean? And this one was the most removed from, like, I'm not on a class field trip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, this one was the furthest removed from his high school setting. You know, but they kind of tie it back in with him trying to apply for colleges and all that stuff, right? It's kind of centered around it. They had, like, Martin, is it Martin? Not Martin Short, but Martin... What's his name from, like, Silicon Valley,
Martin,
Freaks and Geeks?
Yeah, shit.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Martin Starr.
And J.B. Smooth, and they had Hannibal Buress, and they kind of bring him in for a little bit, but they didn't get a whole lot of work.
They make sure to, like, kind of pay nods to all the different people. Like it's got a lot of wrapping up to do, so it's like, okay, we're gonna talk about Jon Favreau and, you know, Aunt May, and they do a satisfying job of doing stuff with that, and I felt like actually you know, Ned and Zendaya had more to do in this one. Like, I felt like they actually, even though they're probably, I don't know if they're more prominently featured in the other ones or not, but I felt like they were more active participants as opposed to, like, the last Spider-Man one, where it's more of, like, the whole crux of Zendaya's character was, like, Tom Holland hiding his Spider-Man identity from her.
Right. Now, she was more of a device.
Exactly.
Like, in the first one, she's a device, object of desire. Second one, she's like, you know, she's kind of my soon-to-be weird ally. Yeah. Like, will she find out? Will she not?
Right. And in this one, she's actually, like, her and Ned. I like that they got Ned involved too. Like, they're actually helping out and doing more than just even sitting behind a computer or whatever, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, I this one's the funniest in my mind. It hits just certain jokes. I thought it was just very well written. It was written by the Community guys, I think.
Oh,
right?
Cool! I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, the dudes who wrote it, I can't remember their names, but yeah, they like wrote.
Oh, Chris McKenna, gotcha. Yeah, Chris McKenna, I think, has done episodes of Community before. But I gotta say, like, I thought it was brilliant how, especially when you start getting the different IP things to play with, how they kind of mixed and matched those things and actually did a pretty good job. Like, I was kind of wondering how much they were going to, like, if they were just gonna, okay, we're going to have Jamie Foxx from The Amazing Spider-Man, but we're going to totally forget about all the stuff that happened in The Amazing Spider-Man. So I will give them a hand for actually addressing a lot of things, and that was, like, a lot of loose threads to bring together. And, or another example, and is them bringing back Willem Dafoe and having him, like, show up in his goofy ass Green Goblin outfit, but just long enough, like, he gets rid of it, like, after you have that establishing scene, into a much cooler costume. Like, you know, all these, like, little touches that are great, you know.
No, I thought they all tried. I thought they all played it really well. I think Willem Dafoe was incredible.
Yeah,
he was great.
Him and Alfred Molina also great.
Molina great, and then Jamie Foxx was.
Yeah,
good.
he was.
You know what
totally,
I mean? None of them.
Even the other guys. I maybe not so much the guy that played the lizard, but the guy from.
Oh yeah, the guy from Wings.
The guy from Wings was pretty good.
They were clearly kind of like,
we're gonna
you guys
CGI
stand in the back.
you come in for a day, but I think that's probably the appeal. Is like even the actors that might not be less inclined to return. Watching this too, even though this movie's making a ton of money, Sony like fucking brought the Brinks truck out for all of these. Like, how much money do you think it costs to get all of these actors together?
Oh, I mean, ungodly amounts. But I mean, I guess it paid off. I think one of the funniest, like, weird factoid things I saw was that Dennis Leary, who played Gwen Stacy's father in the Andrew Garfield ones, was supposed to be somewhat involved somehow, and was like, I don't have time.
Oh, yeah.
He just basically big time. Dennis Leary was like, nah, don't have time for any more Spider-Man shit. I'm busy. I'm
sure they can be like, sure, cool. We got the 2 minutes we were probably going to divert to you. That's just time for us to shoehorn in another Marvel thing.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I was seeing some stuff that Sony was really trying to maneuver and push away from Tony Stark, Marvel Man.
Yeah. Well, this is
or Iron Man.
The setup
type shit.
They're setting up their Spider-Man. Like, this is supposed to be the transition into whatever Sony's calling their Spider-Man extended universe, right?
Right. Well, he can't take all the toys with him, right? So they had to kind of, he can't have Iron Spider suit in the whole Sony type universe.
I actually liked enough the way they wrapped it up. Like, I liked where they leave him at the end, where he's kind of alone and has all of the things that he used to have taken away from him, because that would be a good reset for him and kind of put him closer to the Spider-Man that we all know, and also explain. It's nice to see him do more like low-level street fight Daredevil type of shit, so I hope they get to explore that in the next few movies. And but I'm also glad that it wasn't like, because I know people were theorizing for a while, like maybe he'll get sucked through a wormhole and literally won't be a part of the Marvel universe anymore, which would kind of make me sad. So like now it's like they leave the door open, he'll be able to team up with fucking Venom, but also whatever the next version of Endgame comes out with, I'm sure they'll bring him back.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is the end of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. It perfectly kind of wrapped up his whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can keep affording him. I said something that he's like, I want $50 million for.
Oof, yeah, I'm real curious. Because Marvel or Sony or whoever, like as soon as Tom Holland gets to be too much or to afford, or if he becomes a handful or something like that, they got Miles Morales waiting in the wings, and I
think that's the kind of the move. I was like, what? Funny enough, I was watching The Quiet Place 2.
Oh yeah.
The young kid who's the younger brother, I was like, that kid could be Spider-Man. I was like, in a couple of years, give him time. Yeah, give him a couple of years. But I was like, that kid, he's got a great, weird, squirrely look. I'm calling it now. Just like I failed at all my prospective Han Solo castings, where I was like, Ansel Elgort, that's Han Solo. You know what I
mean? Right.
But I was like, this kid in A Quiet Place 2, give him a couple years, and if you want another white Spider-Man, I was like, go for this kid. But yeah, I assume Sony's looking at Spider-Man. Do you start a whole nother universe with expensive as F Tom Holland and Zendaya and Ned, whatever the fuck he wants, you know what I mean? Or do you just reboot it up and let that dude go make Uncharted, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, if I was Tom Holland, I would just keep on making these Spider-Man movies for a while, because I know he said, like, and I feel like the studios make him say this every once in a while, so people, like, get like, I think his
agent must be like, hey, say
I'm thinking about leaving or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I'm thinking about starting a family. I'm like, who are you going to start that family with? Zendaya? I don't think she's starting a family anytime soon. Isn't she like 19 or some shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's different when you're fucking multi-millionaires, but like I'm just like, man, if I'm like 24, that was the farthest thing from my mind at that time. But whatever. He's I'm pretty impressed that there's such a Hollywood power couple now too. So I wonder how that factors into things. If that's like stressful, keeping up a relationship when you're fucking Spider-Man. But yeah, like Tom Holland, like I mean, what has he had that's been truly successful aside from Spider-Man? Like I know he doesn't want to only be.
I think Uncharted is going to tell us because
that looks bad.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it. People are going to go see it though. It's got Wahlberg, it's got Tom Holland, it's got Antonio Banderas. Man, he puts asses in seats.
He does. Zorro, baby.
You know what I mean? We love Antonio. So, but yeah, no. I mean, he is. He has struggled. His Chaos Walking fiasco. His what was the horrible, insane movie that we watched on Netflix and the book we read, The Devil. The Devil All the Time.
I forgot.
The Devil
about
All the
that.
Time.
Yeah.
Think about something. Cherry,
yeah,
directed by the
things,
Russo brothers. Holy shit, that didn't
sucks.
work. People hated that movie.
yeah.
As a fellow combat medic, man, you know what I mean. He did not. People didn't. I haven't even seen that one.
Oh, dude, it's anything he's done. Like everything I've seen that's non-Marvel has not been successful. It also might not be his fault. I think he's a good actor and can be interesting, and usually is interesting in these Spider-Man movies. But I don't know what it is where people don't seem to tap into that in other places. So I hope it hits for him, because I think if he has a few non-Marvel movies under his belt that people like, that crossover, then maybe he'll be less, I got to get out of this gilded cage I'm in or whatever. But I think he's great, so I hope he gets to do it for a little while and before they do the Miles Morales transition,
Yeah, no, I think it'd be time. It's going to be close. Yeah. I would be shocked if they don't decide to go into that, but anyway,
we'll have
if
to
this
see.
is the last time, we'll see. But hell of a movie to go out on if this was your last one. Garfield didn't get this. Garfield unceremoniously. You know what I mean? Kind of didn't get that third movie. But
talk about I think of the three Spider-Men, I think he comes out looking the best, because I always thought he was actually pretty solid Peter Parker. He just happened to be in the shittiest of the franchises, and you kind of got the sense he's kind of making up a little bit for Tobey Maguire's like slightly less their enthusiasm. Like that was the one thing, is like Tobey Maguire seemed little less into it than the other two.
Yeah, I don't know if Tobey Maguire he's just basically completely checked out of Hollywood almost at this point, right? He's not working.
He's been labeled hard to work with by a lot of people, and apparently that was one of the things going on when they were filming this, was he was apparently pulling some shit. I think actors are starting to get wise that Marvel, when they lock you into these deals, you become part of a big machine, and if you start fucking with the schedules and stuff, you can really cause a lot of issues. So I think he was trying to pull some big time stuff, because I think also there's a potential sequel to the Raimi Spider-Man coming out of this, and they said depending on how this movie performed and how Marvel liked working with Maguire again, and I think because this movie is doing so well, they might even greenlight that now, but they're
crazy.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
It's so weird, and it was Maguire looked great, but he's looking a little older, so I can't imagine.
He was the ugly one, as Ash put it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean the ugly one? He's like, the which one? Because she doesn't know the actors' names.
Right.
She's like, the old one, the ugly one. I'm like, damn.
He's not looking all puppy dog anymore,
man. Yeah. No, I thought this, it had great little touches, throwbacks to the old ones. I love the Garfield, he saves MJ when she's falling, you know what I mean? Redeemed the whole Gwen Stacy scene. Yep. And I was like, oh, that's a great little touch, to people who, the very few people who've seen all the Spider-Man movies, you know what I mean? It's like, I know people have seen it. It's not an obscure reference.
But it's the fact that they went that extra
nice
mile and actually paid homage to that shit is pretty impressive. That's like...
No, they did great little touches like that didn't make it so hokey and weird and shitty. I loved, Electro and Jamie Foxx is commiserating about, I became a villain because I fell into a vat of this, and I fell into a particle collider, and they're like,
well, we should stop falling into things.
You gotta stop falling into shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking us up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was the funniest one. You know what I mean? It had great lines. You know what I mean? It had just like. Is this tree a wizard or something, or is this a monster? And and they're like, where are we? You're in a wizard's dungeon. There's no other way to put it. You're in, you know what I mean? You're in the dungeon of a wizard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just thought there were so many great little fun little lines and shit that I really enjoyed it. Number 2 for me.